Okay, we're continuing with Dark Souls 3 with the... Did I burn? I did burn the bone shard. This is the day after part 2. We're continuing Cathedral of the Deep with this Dark Souls 3 critique. Did I say Dark Souls 2? Oh, merciful goddess. We got the shortcut. Gale's moaning. Yeah, we're continuing Cathedral of the Deep. We can get a couple of large Titanite shards if I kill the giants. It kind of sucks. The giants show one very big glaring issue with not just Dark Souls 3, but with all the Souls games. Every Souls game has the same issue when it comes to big enemies. The camera. The camera sucks. Elden Ring, I think it is, kind of helps. But Dark Souls 3 helps too. In the DLC, like when you fight Dark Eater Midir. The camera pans out so you can actually like see what you're doing when you're fighting him. But the camera fails to do that in the base game with regular enemies. So the stuff's in the game. The solution's in the game. It just doesn't happen all the time. It's weird. We don't even need this prayer tome. If I'm going to be honest with you, I just want to get through to Deacons of the Deep. Get them finished off. We are not going to get invaded by Longfinger Kirk. Because we lost our Ember. We died. I wonder how piercing is against these guys. How did that not hit him? Piercing sucks. Oh yeah, we're fat rolling in here. Ow. Oh my god. This is stupid. A hitbox? Hello? Maybe I can kill him. I don't know. These slimes? Hitbox. These slimes are very annoying. Luckily, the giant can do damage to them and kill some of them. I don't even understand. Okay, he's dead. Cool. So we get a large Titanite shard for that. We need one more to get our next weapon upgrade. But that requires us to fight the other giant, and I don't really want to do that because he's way off in Bufu, Egypt. I promise I'm going to have some legitimate criticisms about the game. Ooh, another Pale Tongue. As soon as we get to the Deacons of the Deep, I'm going to have another criticism on the game. It's not as good. It's honestly not as good. We'll heal up to full. There's an Ember over here. This is kind of let's play, kind of walkthrough, kind of critique. It's a mixed bag. Honestly. You know what? That's fine. I'm experiencing the game, and you guys get to experience the game through me and with me. Here we are, the boss of the Cathedral of the Deep. Deacons of the Deep. Remember, I liked Gundyr, I liked Vort. I hate Crystal Sage. I hate Deacons of the Deep. I did not want to backstab him. It's just a mass of enemies. So it's like Skeleton Lords from Dark Souls 2, which is not a good boss. But Skeleton Lords is far less annoying than Deacons. And that's not even my major gripe. I don't mind that you have to, like, find the Deacon and take away the health bar and it respawns to a different Deacon. I like that aspect. Jumping from enemy to enemy is cool. The other enemies are kind of passive enough to where they don't really pose that much of a threat. Especially if you thin out the numbers, like I'm doing. My major concern is when the big Pope man himself comes out. Because the enemies seem to get a lot more aggressive, like you can see. And they'll push you away. You'll get infinitely staggered. And they start doing this dark goop into the air. And it can turn into a legitimate unwinnable scenario no matter what. No matter what you do, it can be an unwinnable scenario. Because if they charge up enough, you start building up a curse meter, and then the game just says you die. Also, they can heal them. See, I'm getting staggered. Oh my god, this is so stupid. This boss is genuinely, objectively bad design. Yeah, the curse meter starts filling up, and the game just decides, you know what, you're dead. And you can't do anything about it. There's no way to survive it. And it's so bad. Objectively, 100% bad. There should never be a boss that guarantees an unwinnable scenario. And this is not the only one in Dark Souls 3. There's another boss that has a guaranteed unwinnable scenario. You should never. The game should be about skill. Not about whether the boss decides you die or you don't die. Having an unwinnable scenario takes all matters out of the hands of the player completely and puts it up to random chance that no matter what, dependent on skill or anything, the player cannot win. That is objectively bad design. That is something that you do not want in a game, and that is something that every game developer should strive to avoid, is forcing the player into a death that is out of their hands and out of their control. There's a difference between hard and artificial difficulty. And even in this sense, it's not even artificial difficulty in the sense that it's not hard, it's not difficult. The game just checks a box and says the player died. That's the problem with Deacons of the Deep. You could theoretically make the argument, oh, it's a DPS check. If you can't do it before you get cursed, then maybe you should go get a different weapon or level your weapon up and then come back and fight the boss. I guess if you want to go that route, but you shouldn't. You can gate progression based off of upgrades and levels, but you shouldn't have something, especially early game, such a hard stop for the player. It wouldn't be bad if the curse meter filled up slowly. It wouldn't be bad if killing enemies made the curse meter go down. It wouldn't be bad if the enemies would constantly stagger you with Wrath of the Gods, pushing you down, knocking you back. But no. The game says, oh, you know, when people think Dark Souls, they think hard. How do we make boss hard? Instant kill. It's not fun. It's objectively bad. Also, poise doesn't work in this game. It's in the files. There is a checkbox for poise in the game files. It's just selected to be off. It's off. And it can never be turned on. There's hyper armor. Yes, depending on the weapon that you're wielding. Oh my god. Depending on the weapon you're wielding, you can have hyper armor and tank through attacks. But not... Oh my god, this is so stupid. But not every weapon. Not every weapon class. So, straight swords, for example. See how objectively bad this is? And they can heal the boss. Healing bosses is not bad in its own right. Oh my god. Healing bosses is not bad in its own right. But still. This is so bad. Die. Literal trash. 0 out of 10. That's my boss ranking. How many souls? 14k. Not worth it. We got the doll. Can you tell that I'm upset with the game because of how objectively bad it is? Okay. We can actually go to Fair and Keep proper now. After we level up. Doesn't matter how big your health bar is. That boss can kill you in one hit just because it wants to. Health and endurance. Fair and Keep has no large Titanite shards. Just regular Titanite shards. You don't get larges until... Well, there's the one from the giant. You don't really get larges until after Abyss Watchers. So, what's my AR? 217. Wow, so good. Well, we're gonna go down this way. Fair and Keep sucks. If you think Crucifixion Woods is bad, Fair and Keep, I'm invaded by a real person. Pepe. I got invaded by Pepe. I don't care if I died to the invader. It doesn't count. It's probably some twink. Or he password summoned his overleveled friends to give him DLC gear. Which in turn would make him a twink. Maybe he's a regular guy. Let's not cast judgment so soon. I don't need that. Let's not cast judgment so soon. I know I do want this item. Estus Shard? Yep. Perfect. So we gotta light 3 fires. Which isn't bad. Yeah, I got a blue sentinel. We gotta light 3 fires to open the path to get to the Abyss Watcher. That hit me. To open the path to the Abyss Watchers. Oh my god. I wish poise worked. It works in Dark Souls 1 and 2. Thanks, Bloodborne, for having no poise. I am skipping that cutscene. It just shows the fire going out. There's another fire there. And another fire there. The fires, I might as well show it off. They paint a picture. This one has the Witch of Izalith. Each one paints a picture telling a story. From Dark Souls 1. You remember Dark Souls 1? Everybody loved Dark Souls 1. This is probably a Titanite shard. Where's my blue sentinel? Look at this. Thanks for no poise. Thanks for no poise. I'm concentrating. How much Estus do you think he has? Okay. Did you see that? That animation? That's 3 Estus. Where's my poise? Come on. How many Estus do you have? He's gotta be almost out. I'm not poisoned anymore. Look at him running up to the enemies. What a filthy casual. Look at him running to the enemies. What a filthy casual. And then he drinks. Where's my poise? PvP is ruined because of Bloodborne. We can all thank Bloodborne for ruined PvP. Look at this guy. He's gonna run to the enemies again. You know what? This is interesting. Skip the cutscene. I don't have purple moss. Get him. Ah, he died. Filthy scrub. I really had to concentrate there. That was totally unplanned. Totally unplanned. Oh my god. See how annoying the PvP is? That's another critique on the game. Is, Bloodborne ruined the PvP. And that's truth. Like, I like invading, don't get me wrong. Just not in Dark Souls 3. The game highly unincentivizes it. Oh, you know what? There's a thing right here that we can do. We can go up here. There's an ash that we need up here too. I almost said a spirit ash. It's an umbral ash. This ladder's way too long, by the way. There's enemies off in the swamp. They're big, like big giant goat demons. In the area where you fight them, you can't roll. You're like limited to fat roll. And they have this tree slam attack, and they can shoot out magic that homes in on you. Objectively bad design. And they're super tanky. They have a ton of health. Fair and Keep is one of the worst areas in the whole game. Bar none. Is it bar none or par none? I've always said bar none. Oh, we can get large Titanite shards up here, too. I forgot about that. Look, it's the Asylum Demon from Dark Souls 1. You remember him? Do you remember him? He's not that hard. Although, don't let him grab you. If he grabs you, you just die because he throws you off the ledge. Instead, you break his leg. He falls down. And you can riposte him. We get a soul of a stray demon. Hey, you remember the stray demon from Dark Souls 1? This game really is trying to be Dark Souls 1. With its, hey, remember this? We're gonna get the large Titanite shards. We're gonna put out the last fire. And then fight the Abyss Watchers. The fire's right there, right down there, you can see it. Look at that empty space down there. People say that Dark Souls 2 has empty levels. Look at that. That looks bad. What is that? That's just empty. People call it out in Dark Souls 2, but they're too scared to call it out in Dark Souls 3 because it means criticizing the game that they love. We're going to play through Dark Souls 2, and I'm going to criticize the game. I love Dark Souls 2, and I'm still going to criticize it because I'm not afraid to criticize things that I love. And I'm not afraid to praise things that I hate. I will praise things about Dark Souls 3. Just whenever the game has something worthy of praise. My phone is going off. Why is my phone never going off when I'm like not doing nothing? But as soon as I start doing something, my phone's like, hey. No, we're gonna go back. We're gonna go to Keep Ruins. And we're gonna hit that last fire. There's nothing valuable in Fair and Keep. Unless you're a sorcerer, then yeah, by all means. Wander around and explore. Get lost. Get some sorcery scrolls. Like one over here by this giant enemy crab. I didn't want to go over here, actually. I thought it looped around. It does not. We have to go this way. Remember the giant enemies that I told you in the fat rolling swamp? There's one of them right there. I don't mind the slowness. I'm no stranger to it. If we can recall back to Valley of Defilement 5-2 in Demon Souls, the Butcher Red Phantom NPC, you cannot roll in the swamp in Demon Souls. You kind of just stagger and stand there, and it takes forever to recover. But the Butcher enemy, she can sprint through the swamp. And she kills you basically in one hit, especially if you're in soul form. Sayonara. You're dead. I don't know where I am. This place, you can get so lost and so confused in this place. So turned around. But I think we're there. Maybe not. No, we've been here. God dang it. We need to be at the one where Hazel invades us. This way. Like I said, I don't mind the slowness. It's just... Okay, backstab me. It take forever to recover. The fast enemies and the big hard-hitting enemies, that's what sucks about the slow swamp. Okay. I'm legitimately turned around. That's fine. People tell you just run past the enemies. Yeah, they have infinite aggro range and they chase you for 100 years. Wolf split swordgrass. We need to go this way. Look how cool this is to fat roll through the swamp while you're poisoned. Then we'll come across some basilisks. Maybe? Yeah, it's up here. I think? I don't frickin' know, dude. Yeah, it is. No, it's not. Oh my god. I was just here. We're gonna rest at the bonfire and get these guys off of me ASAP. Then we come down. We take a right. You should have landmarks to distinguish where the player's at. Right? There should be landmarks that the player can look at and be like, oh, I'm here. This is where I go. That's where I can go too. Instead, it's all the same trees. Yeah, this guy sucks. Bad encounter. And he chases you forever. Like every enemy in Dark Souls 3. His hitbox is also bad. Okay. Homeward Bone. You know what? We're gonna use it. We're gonna use that right now. Go back to the shrine. I don't even care. I'm not gonna make any of these boss weapons. Boreal Valley? Nah. Screw you. 2,000 souls. Crystal Sage? Nah. Bad boss. I'm not gonna pop these souls though. Deacons of the Deep? Terrible weapon. 20k. Stray Demon. 20k. How many large? 3. Okay, reinforced weapon. Lucerne plus 4.
Well, then
I only got 5 level ups out of what, 50k souls? Feels bad, man. This game is so hungry. It's almost like Bloodborne and Elden Ring. So we're going to the Keeper Ruins. I just remembered I want 18 decks. We're at 16. Well, why didn't you guys remind me? That's okay. That's okay. We might be able to get it with the next after the Abyss Watchers. So, let's praise the game. We're going to criticize it again first. By talking about Fair and Keep some more. Fair and Keep, all the way up to this point, absolute dog. It sucks. You can't even call it a maze. It's just one big area. Find the 3 things, but they're hidden, and we're not going to give you any landmarks. Also, we're going to make you fat roll and put big giant enemies with bloated health bars. Once you get to the end, though, it's not so bad. Although, I'm going to say, let's rest at this bonfire. I'm going to show you something weird. Something that, to me, does not make any sense. Does not make any sense whatsoever. This bonfire is for the boss. For the Abyss Watchers. So let's go this way. We'll fight a couple of enemies. Right? Ooh, poison gem. I love missing. There's a crystal lizard here that can give us tightness scale. I want to say this new one gives us 2. This guy's a little bit harder. Ow. This guy's a little bit tougher. Not really, he's dead. Yeah, he gives us 2. So that puts us up to 4. This door takes us to the Black Knight. What's the point of this shortcut? We have a bonfire that takes us to the boss. What's the point of this door to open up to the shortcut to get back to the Crucifixion Woods? Tell me what the point of that is. We have no reason to go back there. We already did everything else. Why is there a shortcut that takes us to a completed area when we have this bonfire that we can warp to that takes us straight to the boss? Make it make sense. The bonfires get even weirder later on in this game. You can straight up see a bonfire from a bonfire. And there's no enemies in between. There's like 20 steps that you can take. Ow. Okay. This... I have enough homeward bones. I'm going back. That's stupid. The enemy's reach was ridiculous. Welcome to Let's Critique Dark Souls 3, where I just whine and moan the entire game. But it's because the game is kind of forcing me to do it. If the game was good and the game was better and actually decently made, I wouldn't whine and moan and complain. Look at this dude. Praise time. Shoot, I skipped the cutscene. I wanted to parry him. I want to parry you, dude. God. Okay. I'll count that one. I was trying to parry the boss. I swear I'm good at the game. In fact, we're gonna do it this way. I'm not even embered anymore, so I'm gonna do it nerfed. Parrying with a medium shield kind of sucks. It's not like Dark Souls 1. Even, I'll say Dark Souls 2, parrying, you gotta do it just right. Like with a medium shield, it's kind of hard. You really gotta get the timings down. You really gotta get skilled. That's why you bust out one of these guys. Okay. There we go. 308. This is a boss, and I did that much damage. Two parries, and his health bar is like almost half gone. Oh my god. Okay. The second one came up. I'm playing bad. I'm trying to show off and be cool. Let's not do this in the Dark Souls 3 critique. But man, the Abyss Watchers. I like the Abyss Watchers. They're cool. This recording scoffed. In my defense, it's 8:30 p.m. I've been home. Oh my god. I've been home from work for 5 hours. I ate once today. And I've drank 8 White Claws. You can stagger this boss with like every hit. But he can stagger you with every hit too. See, bosses should be able to stagger you easily. They're the boss. However, regular enemies should not be able to stagger you. I love this fight. It's multiple enemies against one, but then it's like a 2-on-2. You get plenty of Estus. How did that not hit him? Now it's like a 2-on-1 or a 2-on-2. But it can also be a 3-on-1, depending on how the red eye guy works. You remember when Demon Souls had red eye enemies that were stronger? You can also backstab the boss. That is a negative point. You can hit him while he's down. But it is a cool fight. It's like a duel. Kind of. It's a stacked duel. The second phase is so much better. We'll watch it play out. I've been skipping cutscenes. I'm sorry. But see, I'm going to bring up some Dark Souls 3 apologist hypocrisy again. Everyone that hates on Dark Souls 2, but loves Dark Souls 3, says, Dark Souls 2 bosses, it's a bunch of dudes in armor. Dude, this boss fight right here Vort is a dude in armor. This guy, Gundyr, is a dude in armor. This guy right here is a dude in armor. It's not just Dark Souls 2. You can't say Dark Souls 2 sucks because the bosses are dudes in armor, but turn a blind eye to Dark Souls 3. When you know very well, in fact, that Dark Souls 3 has a lot of boss fights that are dudes in armor. I tried to parry that. It's blatant hypocrisy. And that's what frustrates me to no end. I love this second phase. I thought I could parry that in time. There we go. Yeah, you can parry his slide attack. Oh, you can't hit him when he's coming up, though. Oh. Oh. Please? Okay. Enough fooling around, dude. Okay. His range with the fire is actually spot on. The hitboxes are good with the fire. Then he just runs away to the fog. I think we need to stop the Dark Souls 3 critique when I'm drinking a lot. I've been drinking more and more heavily every day. That's not on the game. That's not the game's fault. That's on me. That's not on me. That's on where I work. It's on my job. So that means it's not fair to Dark Souls 3 that you're criticizing it when you are impaired. No, Dark Souls 3 is still bad. I was in the middle of an attack animation. I was half swing, and he knocked me out of it because poise does not exist. But you can swing enemies when they're mid-swing, and they'll phase through it and still attack you. Poise for thee, but not for me. This is objectively bad. Good boss, objectively bad mechanics. Poise should work. Skill issue. Get good. Poise should work. It's in the game. It's turned off. It should work. I'm getting poisoned. I'm trying to show mechanics. Ah, this game. I didn't even run up to the enemy. The ability to withstand attacks without breaking form. It does nothing. Explain that to me, apologists. That guy just didn't care. I ran right up inside him and he did not care. The enemies run faster than the player does. Run past the enemies, that's all you have to do. They outrun you. Good enemy AI. Good enemy AI. Okay. We got this. Heal up. I don't know why I tried to parry that. That parry didn't work. That Estus didn't work. I like the lingering flame. It's actually a really cool touch. See, he's super passive when you don't want him to be. Then he's super aggressive immediately after. I should not be drinking this many flasks. Okay, what was that? There we go. And he's dead. Finally! Solo the blood of the wolf. Those guys are there. I do not want to fight them. How many souls? 19k. We got less souls for beating him than we did for popping the soul of the stupid Deacons of the Deep. We're going back to Firelink Shrine. We're popping his soul. We're leveling up, and we're ending the video. I like Abyss Watchers. I really do. I really enjoy the fight. Honestly. It's just all the areas leading up to him sucks. So bad. 18 decks.
Farewell, Ashen One.
Hollow Slayer Greatsword. Is that heavier? What does it weigh? 8.5. 7 point... How does this weigh less than Lucerne? Or more than Lucerne? Reinforced weapon. It's +2. Okay. Two-handed. AR. Is... 267. At +2. Lucerne. Two-handed at +4. Is 239. We're going to be faster and have better swings. I'm switching up my stance. We're going to bring up to 20 decks. We'll have 20-20. Any items burn? Nope. Alright. I'm going to call it for the session. I'm getting upset. I'm getting very upset. Not because of the Abyss Watchers. Heavy gem. But because the areas leading up to the Abyss Watchers. Fahrenkeep is so bad. It's so bad. I love the Abyss Watchers. Don't get me wrong. I think it's time for bed.